Battersea Poltergeist, Britain's most violent haunting. It started with a bang, not a metaphorical one, but a literal, earth-shaking bang that echoed through the quiet streets of Battersea, South London, in the early hours of January 1956. The Hitchings family, just your average working-class Londoners, were jolted awake by a noise that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere, a sound that would mark the beginning of one of the most terrifying and unexplained paranormal cases in British history. This is the true story of the Battersea Poltergeist, and what you're about to hear may change the way you see the walls around you. Number 63, Wycliffe Road, was home to Wally and Kitty Hitchings, their 15-year-old daughter Shirley, and Shirley's grandmother Ethel. It was a modest home filled with laughter, the smell of tea, and the creaks of post-war floorboards. But after that night in January, laughter turned to terror. It began with knocking, sharp, deliberate, intelligent knocking, not random tapping like a house settling. This was rhythmic, responsive, as if something or someone was answering them. Shirley sitting up in bed, looking toward the wall in terror as slow knocks echo. The family searched the house. They checked under beds, in cupboards, even the chimney. Nothing. And yet, the knocking continued, always seemingly one step ahead of them. And then came the scratches. Scratches on the walls, on furniture, even on Shirley's bed sheets. Deep gouges that appeared while no one was in the room. Soon, the activity escalated. Shirley began to wake to find her bed sheets yanked off her. Furniture moved, objects flung across the room, and a chill that no fire could warm. The family named the presence Donald, a playful name for a presence that would become anything but. Donald wasn't just a ghost. He was angry, violent. He left notes scrawled in childish handwriting. He ripped clothes, broke furniture, and even reportedly started fires. The Hitchings couldn't keep it a secret anymore. The police were called. So were reporters. Even the BBC came knocking. And then Harry Price got involved. Harry Price was Britain's most famous ghost hunter. Known for investigating Borley Rectory, he was no stranger to strange happenings. He interviewed the family, watched the strange marks appear, witnessed objects levitate and slam against walls. He even claimed Donald could answer questions. 1 knock for yes, 2 for no. And Donald had a lot to say. He said he'd lived in the house. He said he'd died tragically. He said Shirley was his focus. Shirley Hitchings became the center of it all. Wherever she went, the poltergeist followed. At school, chairs flew. At her grandmother's house, clocks stopped. Even on a holiday, meant to escape the chaos, Donald traveled with them, wreaking havoc in their hotel. Was Shirley causing this? Some believed she had latent psychic energy. Others accused her of hoaxing the whole thing, but no one, not the police, not the journalists, not Harry Price, could explain how a 15-year-old girl make furniture fly, flames appear, or objects spin in mid-air. At one point, she was even accused of being possessed. Shirley stopped sleeping. Her health declined. She was becoming a shell of the bubbly teenager she once was. The Hitchings tried everything. Mediums, priests, even a seance. Nothing worked. Donald wasn't going anywhere. The activity grew more extreme. Beds levitated. Cutlery flew like missiles. An iron heater was ripped out of the wall and thrown across the room. With witnesses present, neighbors gathered outside the house like it was a circus. The press hounded them. Shirley was followed, photographed, ridiculed, and still Donald terrorized them, mocking, threatening, laughing. One night, Ethel, the grandmother, was nearly thrown down the stairs. Another, a neighbor claimed to see a shadowy figure, tall, thin, standing silently at Shirley's window. From the inside, by now, even the skeptics were nervous. One of the most bizarre developments came when Donald began writing letters. Yes, actual, hand-written letters, sometimes left on the kitchen table, sometimes folded in Shirley's school books. They were addressed to family members, neighbors, even journalists. One letter read, "Don't try to get rid of me. I'll burn the place down before I go." In total, over 300 notes were found, all signed Donald. Investigators confirmed that the handwriting didn't match Shirley's or anyone else's in the home. Some letters included things only the person they were written to could have known. Secrets, details lost to time. It was no longer just a haunting, it was a psychological war. By the late 1950s, the Battersea Poltergeist had become a national obsession. The BBC aired segments. Tabloids offered cash rewards to anyone who could debunk the case. And still, no one could explain it. The Hitchings family was collapsing under the pressure. Wally lost his job. Shirley suffered a nervous breakdown. And Donald showed no sign of leaving. Then, suddenly, it all stopped. No one knows why. One morning in 1959, the knocking ceased. No more fires, no more letters, no Donald. Just silence, but the silence was louder than ever. Where did Donald go? Theories still swirl around the Battersea Poltergeist. Some believe it was a classic poltergeist, a spirit drawn to adolescent energy, feeding on chaos and fear. Others believe Shirley had psychic abilities and unknowingly projected the chaos herself. More skeptics argue it was a well-played hoax. But if so, how do you explain the burned curtains, levitating furniture, dozens of witnesses, and hundreds of letters? Even Shirley herself has maintained, for nearly 70 years, that she never faked a thing. In fact, in her later years, she shared this chilling thought. Donald didn't leave. He just went quiet. So, did the spirit that tormented the Hitchings family simply vanish? Or is he still there, waiting, watching? Sometimes, when a house creaks in the night, when objects vanish, when shadows don't quite behave the way they should, you have to ask yourself, what if Donald came back? The Battersea Poltergeist remains one of Britain's most documented and mysterious hauntings. Even now, paranormal investigators revisit the case. Psychologists debate it, skeptics try and fail to explain it away. But for Shirley Hitchings, now an old woman, the fear was never a theory. It was a presence. It was real. And it wore the name Donald. You don't have to believe in ghosts, but ghosts might still believe in you. Let us know in the comments, do you believe in ghosts? Please don't forget to like, share, and share this mysterious haunting with your friends. Subscribe for more creepy true stories. Until next time, sleep well.